All right. Time to get going. We'll start with the big screen. Let's start with just me. You know, me and you together as we welcome everybody who comes into our little Bible study for today. Want to welcome you. In the meantime, while I make a few shares, I want to just give you the general reminder that your congregations rely on your gifts to keep going. And so if you would remember to continue to give your offerings to your parishes, that would be a gift to them. And also, if you can remember, if you have a little extra, you can give to Immanuel. Also, give to our sponsor. I really want to plug our sponsor. Higher Things is the one that hosts our Bible study and makes it possible for us to get together. And yes, Hannah, I shaved. Was feeling a little tired the last few days, but I feel a lot better today. Happy Friday, Cindy. Miss Sunday. Michelle's here. Terry Lynn's here. Felicity's here. Erica's here. Priscilla's here. Jean, Mom's here. Linda Kimball from Baton Rouge, who knew me when I was a college student and just became a Lutheran. And Maggie is here as well. See if Thor and I can make the quick shares that we need to make in order for us to make sure that everybody gets here. We got one more share to do, and then we're gonna be on our way. Share to a page. Amen. Kathy Hicks, my old friend, one of my old friends from McHenry. Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you and your family are doing great. Pat Stevens is here. Excellent. Hannah is here. Almost done. 3 more types and we're going to be flying. And done. All right. Now I can close this up so it doesn't eat bandwidth. Just so you know, we are looking for internet trolls. I wore my collar today. Look at this boy. You don't. That's a troll. You think about that troll? Huh? Oh, you think the trolls scare you? What do you think of trolls, buddy? Huh? What do you think? Won't come over here and tell me about it? Oh, yeah, growl. Ooh, kill it. Oh, yeah, you don't get that troll? Go get it. Troll doesn't squeak. All right. Yeah, he brought me the troll. It's down here. All right. Time to get to our study. Now, we had the parable of the sower. We had the parable. We are in Matthew 13. We had the parable of the sower. We had the parable of the wheat and the tares. We had the parable of the mustard seed, where Christ was the actor in all of them. Yes, I eat trolls for breakfast. Ooh, come here, boy. All right. Hi, Michelle. Come here, boy. Want this treat? Oh, come here. Come around here. Hop in your bed. We are wide awake today now. After the little troll thing, we're frisky. All right. Could you hear his barking? Because he was really growling like a big dog. Hi, Suzanne. Good to see you. All right. I want you to sort of, hi, Sandra Dean. I want you to understand. So parable of sower, wheat and tares, and sower, wheat and tares, and mustard seed. Christ is the actor. So when we come to treasure hidden in the field, pearl of great price, he's the actor there too. Pastor Lestico yesterday pointed out that was that's a Professor Gibbsism. I did have Professor Gibbs. And that's where I don't remember him teaching on that, but I also remember getting an A on a hermeneutics exam in which, in a different gospel, I interpreted a parable by the parables around it. Hey, buddy. So, A's in hermeneutics for the Borghardt. Hi, bud. You doing all right? He's ready. He's frisky today. He's ready for our Bible study. So we had the first two, treasure hidden in the field, pearl of great price. You're the pearl of great price. You're the treasure hidden in the field. Then a man sells all that he has that he sells all that he has in order to get that treasure, to get that pearl. You. Hi, Jackie. So, another friend. We want to make sure that we understand that he's the actor in them. He's the doer in them. We are the ones on the receiving end of his selling all that he has and giving all that he has in order to save us. That's what this is all about. Over and over again, we see this same refrain that God wants to save sinners. He wants to save sinners. He wants to save people the likes of you and me. To the text we go. This button here, that button there. Wonder if we can spread it out just a little bit more. Don't know why it's not taking the whole... Why did he find the squeak toy? That's why he's under there. There's a squeak toy under there. Hi there, my puppy. Oh, it's your favorite squeak toy. Would you like a treat? Oh, look, nice tray. All right. All right. Ooh, we went too far. No, we didn't. Now here we are. So, treasure in the field, pearl of great price, and now the net. Okay? Now the net. Roxanne. Hi, Roxanne. I'm fighting it. Roxanne! All right, she's never heard that joke before. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net. For around verse 47. The kingdom of heaven is like a net that was cast into the thalasson, the sea, and it gathered synago, all sorts of kinds of there's actually no fish here, but it's implied. Sorry, Roxanne, I couldn't resist. I hope you still love me, or at least tolerate me. I fought it. I really fought it. When it was full, verse 48. So when it filled, look at Thor on the prowl. He brought up. He's on the hunt. He brought it to the shore, and sat down, and he collected the good from the net or the container, and also the bad, the worthless. He cast out. This parable he actually explains. So, like the wheat and the tares, this is the same. Come here, boy. Hop in there. Enough on the... No, stay hop. There's a... Oh, he was asleep, and I woke him up with the troll. And this is what we get. Now he's on full. Missed it, buddy. All right. What does this parable mean? Well, here we go. So it will be the end of the age. The angels will come out and separate the evil from the righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace, in the place where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Let sleeping dogs lie, Sandra. That's a another bad throw. Yes, I got it. I got it. I got what you were doing there. I picked up what you were throwing down, Thor. All right, so now, two interpretations of this. One is the easiest one. The end of the age, the angels come, they separate the sheep from the goats, they separate the wheat from the tares, they separate the bad fish from the good fish. Okay? Good fish on the right, the gospel side. How's it going there, bud? It's a bad throw. You could also say that that's going on right now, where the angelos there, the messengers are, where the messengers are the pastor who separates the sheep from the goats with his preaching and his discipline. A lot of times there were early churchers that took it this way. This is the use of the keys. I don't care which way you take it. Just know that what makes somebody on the right side, what makes them a good fish? Well, good fish swim in the waters of their baptism, says St. Tertullian in the 2nd century. It's the bad preachers, he happens to say the women preachers, who are on the shore trying to get those fish to come out of the waters, but fishies don't do well out of water. All right? You'll know those preachers by their fruits. That's an earlier bit of this gospel, where preachers are judged by their fruits. Today on, I saw today on the ELCA website where it was a prayer to Mother God. What do we think of that? Well, let me show you what we think of that. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Think of this? He's gone. I haven't gone. I read the text. I just took a break from it. There it is again. Okay. So, you know the bad preachers. Hi, Ann. You know the bad preachers from the from their fruit. They end with bad fish. The good fish are the fishies that are swimming in the waters of their baptism. That was a little hand sign there, fishing, swimming in the waters of their baptism. And they live and they die in the Lord's words. 51. 51 is a friend of mine from a nickname of a friend of mine from McHenry. Verse 51. Have you understood these things? They said, yes. Now, do you think they understand those things? Do you think they get it? Here, boy. I'll trade you treat for troll. Thank you. All right. Therefore, every scribe who has been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like a master of a house. 52. Who brings out treasures of what is new and old. So if you understand these things, you're like the master of a house who keeps bringing out more treasures. This is to him who has, more will be given. Bad toss again. More gifts, more gospel, more forgiveness, more life. The unbelief point is the point which pushes yourself away from the table and says, I'm full, I don't need any more. The gospel is always more forgiveness, always more Jesus. Usually the push away point is when you want something about yourself. I would like something about me now, please. Something about what I'm doing and something about my works. That's the way that rolls. But for the most part, the Lord is one who does always more. I'm having some tech issues. I'm trying to get the... How did he find another squeak toy? Hey, buddy. I will trade you a treat for a squeak toy. This one. I guess I don't know what that is. When Jesus had finished these parables, he went out from there. Verse 54. So all the parables in a row form a section, and now he moves on. Okay? And he moves on to what is rejection. Rejection. It's a lizard? Is that a lizard? Okay. Rejection. Yeah, Tanya, he's got me quite trained. I keep finding squeak toys. You keep giving me tweet. I shouldn't have said the word. All right, so he goes on from there and he comes to his hometown. Oh, no. My hometown. There's a bunch of Southern songs with my hometown in it. He comes to his hometown, his homeland, and he teaches in their synagogue. Well, what's going to happen here? When he teaches in their synagogue, what's going to happen here? Linda Kimmel's here, so I can only tell you that I have taught. I've taught all around the United States, and I never expected to teach anywhere but where I actually am, and so I come home to cover for Pastor Anderson. I come to my hometown because I'm in my Southern comfort zone, another country song. But I come to my hometown, and although I've preached in churches with thousands of people, they were huge. Going home so scared me that I worked for weeks on the sermon. And this wasn't 10 years ago. This was like, I want to say it was 2 or 3 years ago. And I was nervous. Like, I normally am a little nervous before preaching, but I was crazy nervous to preach at home. And when I got there, first time I had preached there in like 15 years, I thought, man, this church is so much smaller. And whenever the pastor Losi, somebody's at the door. Whenever whenever the pastor of the place is gone, usually attendance tanks, and that happened too. There was not as many people that remembered me, but preaching at home ain't easy. And the other thing is, they'll always remember me as the young college student, the young high school student, and so it's not, hi Bobby Joe, it's not hello Pastor Borghardt, how you doing? It's George is home. George. Yeah. So, and there's something biblical to that. It's why pastors usually don't don't serve their own family members because their own family members because their own family is just like, oh, that's just, Cousin Eddie. Hey, buddy, come here. Leave the head trustee alone. Come on, boy. Leave the head trustee alone. He's our friend. Over here. Over here. Over here. In the bed. Jump in the bed. All right. His catch and steal. So, all of the thing about going home. See, Linda's so sweet. She knows the stories from when I was in college. We don't want to go there. But going home ain't easy for a preacher. Okay? Now, even more for the Son of God. Let's find out what happens. We all know what happens, but I just wanted to give a little bit of context for it. So, he comes to his hometown. He preaches in their synagogue, 54, and he and they were astounded. They were amazed and said, where did this one get this wisdom? And these dunamis, dunamis is the power, is the word. Dunamis is this powerful deeds. So where did he get these deeds from? Is he not 55? I want to put that at the top. It's easier for me to handle. Is he not the is he not the kid, the son of the builder, the carpenter? Is he not Joseph's son? Yeah, Cousin Eddie. Is he not Joseph's son? Is his mother not Mary? And are not his brothers James and Joseph and Simon and Judas? And aren't his sisters amongst us? Where did he get these? Where did he do this? Dr. Nagel jokes. Didn't we get a table from his family? Didn't they say that he made it and one of the legs was shorter than the rest of it? Son of God doesn't quite measure up. When you watched him grow up, seriously, just another kid. Son of a congregation in my previous parish got told by his dad when he was first year sim student that his dad had arranged that with the pastor for the son to preach on Good Friday at his congregation. The son was 75 or 80 when he was told the story, and that he had wanted to say, gee, thanks, Dad. Yeah, it's scary preaching at home. Not to mention, when you preach at home, as a sim student, they have to endure the most awful sermons. Like I preached one Christmas, and I got out of the pulpit, and I thought I had preached a great sermon, and Pastor Anderson goes, there's a difference between preaching and lecturing. Poor people. But here, they're despising him because they know him so well. They know his family. They rattle off the names of his brothers. If that was a trivia question, I would have failed it. James, Joseph, Simon, Judas. Judas is a common name in the ancient world. Buy Higher Things merchandise. Help the people who make this video possible. Buy Higher Things merchandise. Jedi mind trick. You will go to the HT store and you will purchase something. There it is. Somewhere, the trolls. He's not sleeping. He's begging. Somewhere the trolls are saying, He just tried witchcraft on people. They scandalizonta. Let's that's the past tense of the word scandalizo, which sounds like the English word scandalized. And this is an imperfect passive, an action that was an imperfect passive, an action which began in the past and is continued into the future. They began this pericope despising him, scandalized by him, and they're going to continue in this pericope scandalizing. They took offense at him. They, Terry Lynn, I didn't know what merch was either until my son Patrick was in charge of it for HT, and he kept using the word. And at first I called it Merc, and then it just took me forever to be like the cool kids, like my cool son Patrick, who must be working today. They took offense at him. They were scandalized by him. And this is a reoccurring theme in the Gospels for you to take note of. He just doesn't measure up to what Son of God should be. He just doesn't equal what they think a Son of God should be. He just isn't Son of God material. He just isn't. He's the carpenter's son. We know his sisters. We know his brothers. We know his family. And he shows up and he's like, "We are family." No, he doesn't do that. But he shows up and he gives them the gospel. And they took offense at him. He wasn't enough. This is an odd verse that's coming up, and I don't really know what it means, but that's okay. He says to them, a prophet is not unhonorable except in his own hometown and in his own house. Who says he doesn't eat the chicken ones? Thank you, Pat. The Lord's peace be with you. Thank you, Maggie, for singing with me. This is a double negative. A prophet is not unhonored. So a prophet always has honor, except in his own hometown and in his own house. All right. I'm going to one more family thing and then I'll get going. My father was under the impression that, I just believe in Jesus. I was raised Roman Catholic because my mama was Roman Catholic. My father really didn't care. All right. He was a Methodist for the most part. And he just, his take on it was, I just got to believe in Jesus. And that's what he would always say to me. I would beg him to come to church, and he would I just have to believe in Jesus. That's all I have to do, right? All I have to do is believe in Jesus. And the amount of energy that I spent in discussions with him, He wasn't going to listen to me because I was his son. Just like it's very, very hard for me to listen to my kids, even though they're grown up. It's challenging for us to listen to our children. And yeah, Terry Lynn. If mama ain't happy, then no one's happy. So a prophet is without a preacher, a proclaimer of good news, is not without honor except in his own hometown. Another way of saying it is a prophet is always with honor, except in his hometown and his home region. And he did not do great signs there, many great signs there, because of their unfaith, because of their unbelief. 58. A lot of people lose a lot of sleep over, I think this is in another gospel he was unable to do. A lot of people lose a lot of sleep over this verse. I don't. He's rejected. They're rejecting him. They want nothing to do with him. And so his way is not to do anything to those who reject him. And so you don't want anything to do with Jesus. He doesn't force himself on you. He suffers himself to be rejected. That's why there's a shield on that, to prevent me from spraying it. And so don't lose sleep over this. God doesn't stop being God because of your unbelief. He just doesn't force himself upon you. Oh, Pastor Lestico. Yeah. What? Wow. Our staff is amazing in higher things. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's a finished chapter, and we'll move to the next one. They just know you differently at home, says Grace. They think of you in a certain way, and you leave and come back. It's like the time was stood still. Exactly. Exactly, Grace. Great observation. And there's more to Jesus than we know his mother, brothers, and sisters. All right. In that time, a very sad part. At that time, Herod the Tetrarch, that's the ruler, had heard of the fame of Jesus. And he said to his servants, "This is John the Baptist, raised from the dead. That is why miraculous powers are in him. For yeah. There's supposed to be a big celebration. We actually finished a chapter. That chapter only took 3 days. The Lord can save heaven and earth in 3 days, and I can't get through a chapter in 3 days. Herod had seized John and bound him and put him in prison for the sake of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife. because John, there's another imperfect. John was saying and did say, it is not lawful or right to be with her. And though he wanted to put him to death, he feared the people, the crowd, the Oklon, because he was a prophet. They held him as a prophet. They thought of him as a prophet. But when his birthday happened, when Herod's birthday happened, his daughter, the daughter of Herodias, danced in his before him, in the midst of him, in the midst of them, and that pleased Herod, and so he promised with an oath. He confessed with an oath, homologeo. He confessed, like we had earlier. We've had this word before. This word means to same say, and so he made an oath. He confessed with it. He made an oath and said that he would give, donate, to her whatever she asked for. This makes me so sad. This really just, it makes me, Pastor Lestico, Marvin the Martian is the man, but shame on you for an ADHD moment. A uranium-233 disintegrator. I'm going to destroy the Earth because it's blocking my view of Venus. This is just so sad. Prompted by her mother, she said, "Give me the head of John the Baptist here on a platter." And the king was sorry. But because of his oaths and his guests, okay, that is just not fair. Try to just like pull out from mothballs an impersonation. Now I'm going to work on it all night long, Kristen Sanchez. It'll be your fault that I don't get any sleep. Uranium-233 disintegrator. Give me the head of John the Baptist on the planet. This platter. This makes me so sad. And the king was sorry, but because of his oaths, his guests, so he is honor bound and he is ego bound to do something that is evil. Come on, boy. Come out from under here. Sad part. Come here. Come out from under here. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. And so he pimp sauce. He sent for John and killed him and beheaded him in prison. He killed him. He separated him from his head. He apokephalazzo. He unheaded him. And his head was brought on a dish, a platter, and given to the girl, and she brought it to her mother. This is the greatest prophet born of man, of woman. And he's killed as a party favor. It's just so sad. And thus, why should pastors expect anything less than this at voters' assemblies? Why should they expect anything less than 4-page single-space letters and complaints to DPs and first vice presidents? If John the Baptist gets... He went under the blanket. He's done. If John the Baptist gets this, what else is there for the rest of us? What else is there for the rest of us? There's no theology of glory waiting for this year's candidates at our seminaries. There is only suffering. And Jesus would have it no other way. And his disciples came and took his body, and they buried it, and they went and told Jesus. Jeremy has a nice point. He says, Pastor, when we look at tragic things in Scripture, such as the martyrdom of John the Baptist and the crucifixion of our Lord, are these things actually sad? In some sense, they are sad, and Jesus wept at the death of Lazarus. You know, they are both sad and examples to us and gifts to us of what we have to expect in the life of faith. 41 minutes and a section done. Let me look at what's next. No. That is Saturday's text for sure. So sorry to leave on the Debbie Downer of the martyrdom of St. John the Baptist. This is a lesson. This is a gift to us. This teaches us what we have waiting for us in the faith of Jesus. Nothing more than what the greatest prophet of all time got. Nothing more than suffering. But in that suffering is some joy, for we know who Jesus is more than even his relatives do. We know who he is. We know he's the Son of God. And as surely as he died and rose again for us, so we too will rise again from the dead to a new life. When the most they can do is kill you, you're going to be just fine, because he will raise you from the dead, which makes all voters' meetings happy, because the most you can do is die. You will rise from the dead to a new life forever with him. Forever in him. Pastor George Borghardt and the sleeping under the blanket puppy. And we'll see you tomorrow, Saturday, tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Have a blessed day.